Patanjali is explaining practical ways for us to reach our self-realization. In Mantra 21, he says, to the keen and intent practitioner, this samadhi comes very quickly. Mantra 22, the time necessary for success further depends on whether the practice is mild, medium, or intense. So he's laying out on us on the table that if you practice this yoga journey, you'll reap the benefit. What you give in, you're going to get out. So we want to make our mind our best friend. It means we got to constantly bring it into a focused state, into a relaxed state. Otherwise, the media is constantly pulling our minds outside and creating desires within the mind, creating seeds, samskaras. So the yogis, we want to go within and plant our own samskaras on our mind. So to the keen, so we want to do it focus, we want to be determined to make our mind our best friend. And that's why the yogis, they get together, they study together, they practice together, because we inspire each other to continue on the journey. So mantra 23 to mantra 29, this part of the book, he's going to explain, yes, you can do all the different techniques which you've explained before, but now in mantra 23 to 29, he switches. He says, there's another way to reach self-realization. And this is where he starts. He says here, Ishvara Pranidhana Navad. So he says, or samadhi, or self-realization, is attained by devotion with total dedication to God. So one thing that the yogis acknowledge is that there is a divine energy. We refer to it as God. People refer to it as divine, spiritual being. People refer to it that the macrocosmos or so forth. So in the yoga culture, you will see they refer to God being an energy, means he's everywhere, and simultaneously as a person. So there are two aspects, actually three aspects. It's described as Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, Paramatma, and localized Paramatma, God in the heart, Bhagavan, and Brahman, the energy of God. So as we evolve in our evolution, we will be attracted to the aspects of God in many aspects. So it's like the one beautiful analogy one sutra gives is you have the sun globe, the globe of the sun, and then you have the sun rays, the energy of the sun. The energy of the sun is none different from the sun, because you put there, he's saying that sun, for long you get close to the energy of the sun, it'll burn you, it's hot. And also another analogy, that's the rays, and then the localized sun. In other words, you put 100 cups of water and you look into the water, you'll see the sun in each cup. So it's localized that way. So the yogis explain that we can develop, we will be attracted to one of these aspects of God, either as energy, or as the term is Brahman, the energy of God. God is everywhere as an energy. He's also localized, like the sun in the cup. He's also localized as the Paramatma, or the Lord in the heart, and everywhere. The God is everywhere in every atom. And also, he's also in that form, that personal form, like the sun globe. The globe has a form. So we can, depending on your evolution, you will have a devotion to one of those aspects of God. And so here, when he explains, samadhi can be attained by devotion with total dedication to God. So in yoga, there are different styles of yoga. And if you go to India, if someone is practicing Hindu, or they might not necessarily do the physical yoga that we see in the West, or they might not do the meditational yoga, the yogis they do in the Himalayas, but they do a practice of yoga referred to as bhakti yoga. Bhakti means devotion, the yoga of devotion. So they develop devotion to God, and they recognize that this devotion comes natural to anyone. And we, in our Western world, we have devotion to God, but we kind of put it a little bit on the back burner, and we have devotion to extension of God more. Like in the West, someone might have a devotion to a dog, a cat, right? You see a lot of love. So the yogis, they recognize that this is devotion to God indirectly, because they understood that within the dog's heart or the cat's heart, God resides there as Paramatma. Now it takes a little work to see that within the animal, there's also an aspect of God. And that's why pets or plants, if you develop some devotion to them, what it should evolve in your consciousness is you start to develop universal love for not just one dog or one cat, but for all cats or all dogs, all animals, or not just one plant that you water every day, but it should raise your consciousness. So one day, whoa, you start to develop this devotion to God indirectly as Paramatma. So the evolution, so those people in India, they develop this devotion to God, not just on an extension of God, but they develop to that same devotion that we in the West put towards our plants and animals, or even to a person. They traditionally, culture of yoga, the history, if you look at it, they would develop that same devotion, but they would put that same devotion to God. And hence in the yoga culture, there are a lot of temples. And in the temples, they have a form or a deity that has certain vibration, energy that helps them to focus their mind to. And then eventually they come to the understanding that the temple is just an extension of someone's mind and heart. The real temple is within the heart. So the yogis, we walk around recognizing that God is within the heart. And to try and develop love and devotion to God in the heart is a beautiful, beautiful thing. The temple of the heart, we refer to it as.